hopefully enjoy. We got a busy show today because we're going to have Ken Wisenhunt on this bad boy at 12:30 today. He's going to drop in, talk a little showboats action. We got Hardenwood because it feels so good. I got some crazy stories, man. Like, we always have some weird stories. But we got, like, some shade that C.J. Gardner Johnson was throwing at Travis Kelce. Has to do with his girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend. It's always fun stuff for me to get in people's relationships. We got Saquon shotgunning beers like a madman, Big Dom. Got great white sharks. MIT, man, they invented insects, like robotic ones, so they can pollinate the flowers and stuff. Guess we're going robots for everything. If bees don't have to work anymore, do I? We need to save the bees, but Lord. The world is just buck wild. And speaking of buck wild, the NBA trade deadline was absolutely crazy. We finally got to see Luka last night in a Laker uniform as Los Angeles got a win. They've won 6 in a row, but man, we got to talk a lot about the whole trade deadline situation. We'll break down some more stuff today when it comes to, like, how are the Lakers actually going to be really good? I mean, I know Darian's over there excited about it. I know few people around here, Laker fans, are just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. Well, you still don't have really a center. I mean, you got one. You got to see what's going on with the whole Mark Williams situation. Like, that stuff's still crazy. If you haven't heard that, he didn't pass his physical. So the Lakers rescind Mark Williams. The Hornets are trying to dispute it, but my goodness. You need big bodies. I don't care what you say. You can't have LeBron guarding the 5. With Luka going to be on the 4 with Jackson Hayes on the bench. But we'll talk a little NBA, and we'll also talk about the flip side of Los Angeles, where everybody and their grandmother was out last night, excited, feeling it. Like, Laker fans today are just so excited. On the other end of the spectrum, Mavs fans, rightly so, are losing their minds. And I don't blame them at all. I mean, dude, you get rid of Luka, that's bad. That's already bad. And then AD's down. And AD down, maybe for a while. Whew. And then not only that, I mean, he's definitely going to be missing like multiple weeks. This is already just a terrible situation. But then you make it even worse. I can't believe they're throwing out fans at these Dallas games for mouthing on the Jumbotron, "Fire Nico." Well, like you throw it for saying "Fire Nico." That's just going to make it worse. Threw out some other fans for some T-shirts that had "Fire Nico" on them, themes T-shirts. Arena security has been beefed up. Well, when you make stupid decisions, maybe Nico doesn't need to go to the games right now. By the way, you are going to own this, Nico. Man. Well, we'll get into a little NBA action. And you know who's in action tonight? The Grizzlies are on the road. They get to play the Suns. That Suns team, man, not very, definitely wouldn't confuse them with a big happy bunch right now. Right now, Grizzlies are a 1.5-point favorite on the road tonight, 9 o'clock. 244.5 is the total. You know the Grizzlies like to play fast. We will give, we're always going to give you some bets. So we'll definitely drop down some bets for you, of course, as well at the end of the program. But we got a little Grizzlies action. We got some Penny updates on a little basketball as he was over at Brookhaven with Jeff Brightwell last night. Talked a little Tyrese Hunter. Didn't give us really any news. Said he won't know till afterwards. But we'll get into a little bit of hoops like that. And then we got SEC action that's, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They're made for the SEC. SEC basketball right now still balling and shot calling. And we got a few big games. Like Tennessee on the road, going to Rupp, facing Kentucky. Remember, Tennessee at the house, they got dropped by UK when they came in there. But, man, this is right now is a little different Kentucky team. Yes, did they get a bounce back against South Carolina? Yes, they did, but that's South Carolina. Tennessee, though, went on the road to Oklahoma and just exploded. Tennessee's defense is filthy. One thing that Kentucky's allergic to, that is playing defense. We'll break down that game because I think that's massive. Also, Mississippi State and Florida go tonight. Florida 1.5 point favorite on the road in Starkville. Tennessee 2.5 point favorite on the road at Rupp. Vandy 9.5 point dog at home. Auburn's coming up there to the Memorial Gymnasium, and let me just tell you something. I don't think that Auburn team's going to come up there and be too kind. After their last performance, they lost to Florida 90-81. Doesn't really give the whole feel of it. Florida just owned that. They owned it. But you're going to see a very upset Auburn team, and I feel bad for Vandy. Right now, 5-5 in the SEC. A couple other games of note. Texas A&M at home against Georgia tonight. A&M 7.5 point favorite. Wade Taylor likes to hit threes to win games. And Georgia's got to get off the schneid. A team that was looking real good early in the season. Remember, they beat Kentucky and Oklahoma. And then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off. They lost 4 straight. Got to win against South Carolina, then lost to Alabama, beat LSU, then lost to Mississippi State. It's like they can't beat anybody other than Kentucky and Oklahoma earlier in the season that really of note. Bulldogs team, I don't think is all that good at all, to be honest with you. Texas A&M, a very confusing team. Buzz's boys. I mean, dang, they like to play it close. That Missouri game was wild. They keep it close with South Carolina. They kept it close with Oklahoma. They keep it close with everybody. Beat Ole Miss by 1, another miracle shot. Lost by 1 against Texas. 7.5 points has covered all 5 of their last games. They're 4-1, only lost 1 point loss at Texas. Largest margin of victory at home against Oklahoma. They won that game by 7. Is this a winner you might want to pull the trigger for the Bulldogs? Oh, man, definitely. We're definitely going to discuss that. We got a bunch of nuggets, some notes, and we got to make some bets. I love gambling, and we got college basketball to do that. That's for dead gum sure. Also, got to now, like after having a little bit more time to digest what we saw in the terrible Super Bowl where the Kansas City Chiefs just got beat down. And, of course, everybody's rightfully so giving all their accolades to the Eagles, to Jalen Hurts, to Saquon. Saquon can shotgun a beer almost faster than anybody I've ever seen, by the way. That was impressive. Great running back, Super Bowl champ. Dude can shotgun a beer with ease faster than anybody I've ever seen. That was wild. If you hadn't seen it, it's impressive. He could definitely, he could be a frat boy. If he was in a fraternity, man, I don't know, maybe he was. He was really, really, really good. But, man, one of the things after the Super Bowl, we always kind of look to the future. I got odds on next year's Super Bowl winners. Kind of says a lot about some organization. I'll tell you where they are. Cowboys aren't looking too good for my man Dacus. 49ers are actually looking a lot better than the Dallas Cowboys next year when it comes to the odds. You'd be actually surprised. So Darian Newsom might be kind of excited. We got some, don't forget, we got to figure out the franchise tag situation here. That's coming up here in just 2 weeks. T. Higgins, what are the Bengals going to do? We'll talk a little bit about the future of certain teams. We got the draft coming up. What are the Titans going to do? Hopefully nothing. Yeah, right. I don't know what the Titans do. We got so much draft stuff to talk about. Quarterbacks, of course, are always the guys that you talk about a lot. So we're going to break out some teams. We're going to look in the future. We're going to talk a little NFL action. And really now, after we've kind of sat in it, thought about what we've seen, listened to all the radio shows, watched all the TV shows, got on the X, listened to fan bases back and forth. What do you think about these seasons? What do you think about these coaches? What do you think about these quarterbacks going forward? It's kind of wild how far my man Jalen Hurts, the love has jumped up for him. And, rightfully so. 2 Super Bowls. I told you the numbers yesterday. They're ridiculous. He outplayed Pat Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls, 1-1. Very, very Like, I mean, sick performances. And again, I also like Jalen Hurts just because his story. I mean, this is a guy who, went 25-2 at Alabama and lost the job in the national championship games to Tua. They won the national championship game. The next season, he goes back to Alabama. He loses the job to Tua in spring, stays with Alabama, comes in, wins the SEC championship game for Alabama, perseveres, doesn't get the job back, transfers to Oklahoma, gets in with a little Lincoln Riley, and then goes in as a second-round pick to the National Football League and has done nothing but work. Again, when I look at Jalen Hurts, do I think he has the talent of a Lamar Jackson? Like, does he wow me the way Lamar does? Nope. Does he wow me the way Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes do? No, he doesn't. Does he get the ball out of his hand like Joe Burrow, so damn accurate, so fast? Joe's often hurt, though. Twice, I think he's the comeback player of the year from injuries. I think he won it. Didn't he be in Joe Burrow a 2-time comeback player of the year? Like, that's not something you want. That means he, was Gucci, missed a season, and then came back and was Gucci, then missed a season, and came back and was even better. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not an award you want. But, yeah, Joe Burrow's a bad mamma jamma. I don't see that in Jalen Hurts. But I do see a winner. And I also don't see, immediately all of a sudden some of the people talking about, oh my gosh, is he now one of the elite quarterbacks of all time? And I heard this and I said, you know what? I love Jalen Hurts' story. I love the man. He's a leader. Winning football games is not easy to do in the National Football League. It is not. More players lose games than win them. And Jalen Hurts has been ridiculous, especially in the biggest and the brightest of lights of 2 Super Bowls. Outside of that fumble, he's been almost perfect. And that was, of course, a few Super Bowls ago when they lost in that shootout, was it 38-35 to the Chiefs. But quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl, MVP, and be an All-Pro. Do you want to hear something that's going to be, it's going to kind of blow your mind? And again, maybe I'm just not seeing it yet. Y'all let me know at the Sissy's Log Cabin text in listener line, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. He's on a list, and I heard some people say I think it's a little bit crazy stuff. Since 1994, quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl MVP and earn an All-Pro. He's now one of 9 people in the whole world to do it. That is some sickness. He also, again, is in another elite level. He has a natty. He has a Super Bowl ring. As a quarterback, the only ones that have ever done that are also, it was Joe Namath. And was it Joe Montana? Yeah, Joe Montana. And now Jalen Hurts is on a crazy list with Steve Young, John Elway, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Pat Mahomes. And while that's a hell of a list to be on, I still don't see him. And yes, he beat Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. But I don't know if you know, one thing that beat Kansas City was that terrible offensive line, was that defensive front for the Eagles, the offensive line for the Eagles. And yes, Jalen Hurts threw one of the prettiest passes. That touchdown, like that. I mean, he had three throws that you just had your mouth open and were like, damn, that's filthy. The one he threw to A.J. Brown, the one he threw to Devontae Smith. Little side note, did you know the Devontae Smith touchdown reception was the first time an Alabama wide receiver ever caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Saw that one. I was like, damn, man. That's just when I think about Alabama football, you know what I mean?
Don't you have a Roll Tide hat you should have on today?
No. I'm not. Dude, I'm Ole Miss, bro.
Okay.
I just saw that little nugget, the Slim Reaper.
Just checking your allegiances.
No. I'm not surprised A.J. Brown if he was the first one, and I don't even know if that's the truth.
Why don't you have an A.J. Brown jersey on?
Because I didn't bring that nugget to me. It was actually said I was driving in and listening to somebody. I can't remember. Oh, no, that was yesterday. I think it was on Colin Cowherd, maybe, after my show.
Or you
But
could
can
have
you
been
believe that
listening to
with
a
all
great
the
Brian
wide
Dacus.
receivers they've ever had, that's the first receiving reception touchdown, blah, 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 blah. It's like, damn. But back to my point of Jalen Hurts. He's only one of 9 people since 1994 to be an NFL Super Bowl MVP. And remember, he was second team All-Pro. Eli Manning was never an All-Pro. 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He didn't get on the first ballot. But again, I wasn't even talking about Jalen Hurts. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's got MVPs coming out the wazoo, got a couple of them, second last year. Like he's on the fast track. Doesn't have the hardware, but not everybody can win one. You know, there's only 59 Super Bowls we've had. That means there are only 59 champs. But man, am I missing something? Because again, Kurt Warner, who is on this list, we talk about Jalen Hurts and what he had to persevere through. Kurt Warner was bagging groceries and playing in like the Arena Football League. It took a Trent Green injury before him to even get his chance. It's kind of wild when you look at Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, both on this list. Tom Brady, if Mo Lewis doesn't crack Drew Bledsoe's chest open, basically.
Couldn't you say the same for Mahomes with Alex Smith and his leg injury?
Oh, no. He was drafted, the 10th quarterback overall or something? I mean, he was going to be the heir apparent. I mean,
yeah, eventually.
He sat that one year. He was coming in there. I wouldn't put Patrick there. They knew what they had in the kid. Andy Reid, they were raving about him. I mean, Steve Young, he's the one who chose to go to the USFL, by the way. And yeah, you had to sit behind Joe. Sorry, Steve. I mean, it's Joe bleeping Montana.
Hey, he got the monkey off his back.
And he had to go to Kansas City. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Again, does Jalen Hurts feel like one of them?
No, he's more self-made. I think he's made his
Him
own.
and Kurt Warner remind me of a lot of each other because of one thing. I mean, let's not forget, the greatest show on turf, Trent Green probably would have excelled and been awesome. You had Marshall bleeping Falk. That was Falk, not the other word, people.
I think our listeners know Marshall Falk.
Falk. Ridiculous. Orlando Pace was their left tackle. Do you know how great he was?
Hall of Fame great, right?
Lord, maybe the best damn left tackle ever. That dude didn't give up sacks.
All right, your 3 receivers.
Don't forget about
Azahir
Isaac
Hakeem.
Bruce, Torrey Holt.
Hakeem, too. Azahir Hakeem.
Yep.
He was like the little slot guy.
I mean, dude, those teams offensively loaded. And it still took their linebacker, what was it, Mike, the Kevin Dyson tackle right there at the 1 yard line. Damn it, I can't remember his name. I should. Blame it on the damn ganja cookies. But Kurt Warner, he had to go through a lot. Jalen Hurts has gone through a lot. But, man, once Kurt Warner got hot, let's not forget he also got Arizona to the big one. Like, once they got him in the league and this guy was just throwing it exactly. Like, he reminded me.
Mike Jones.
I said Mike.
Who?
Mike Jones. Thank you, by the way. Darian, you're fast, bro.
Oh, you tried to beat me yesterday when the APs. I hadn't forgiven you about yesterday. You asked me about the AP top 25, and my internet wasn't going fast enough. So you just bingo bango.
Bam, 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 bam. It's what happens when you're on the road and use your phone. Because this computer over here, you know, I'll never be faster than you on this laptop. I think this is from the dial-up age. But anyway, I like Jalen Hurts. I'm just not ready to say that he's on this all of a sudden he's on a Hall of Fame path. But let me know what you think. 901-360-8255. Again, life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Now, looking at basically the season as a whole, and I want to look at all the quarterbacks because here on the other side, we're going to do a little bit of basically giving you some odds of who now are the favorites for next year, some of the moves that people are looking at. We're going to, sprinkle in a little draft stuff, and we're definitely going to be comparing the quarterbacks. Like, who are the best quarterbacks? I mean, Pat Mahomes, I know that Super Bowl was terrible. Like,
Don't do it.
Awful.
This is not the week to do that, John. Don't do it.
And by the way, can I say something honestly? And I'm going to do this. I got Travis Kelce slander, bro. slander. Do you know how bad he was against the Eagles?
Yeah, like he should retire bad.
Hey, do me a favor and do a chip like you're supposed to. Like whenever they tried to bring him in to block because they could not block 4 with freaking 5. That was for damn sure. They needed 6, 7, and 8. They couldn't block nothing. But when Travis Kelce a couple times you go watch him watch that. He was awful. Like, I know that he's known for catching the ball. I know he's going to the Hall of Fame, and I know he's been awesome. This year, though, bro, you weren't even really mid-grade. He had one good game, and that was against the Texans.
Continue.
Outside of that, his playoff numbers are just trash. And his blocking was even worse.
What about his dating choices?
Man, he should have stayed with that thick chick. Promise you, man. Why would you go with that little
He's a billionaire, John.
butt? What's her name? Kayla Nicole? By the way, you know why I said he should have stuck with the thick chick?
Why?
Because did you catch the C.J. Gardner Johnson during the game? During the game, after Travis Kelce dropped one of his passes, that he dropped a few of them, said, "Bro, you should have stayed with the thick chick."
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. It's great. I laughed so hard. Should have stayed with the thick chick. By the way, did you see Thick Chick after the game, Kayla Nicole? She was celebrating with confetti and partying on the field.
No, you told me yesterday she was having a ball laughing at him.
Yep. But again, I mean, like, how can you really? I mean, the dude is a 3-time Super Bowl champ. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's got buku bucks. And he's got the New Heights podcast, which, didn't they sell that thing for like $200 million, or am I crazy?
Not sure how much, but they sold it for quite a bit.
I mean, dude, like, they make it bank. And then you got Fat Kelsey out there still doing TV.
He's actually pretty good. He's like the new version of Mike Golick.
I like he does things that I like. And then they tried to do that night show. Did you see that? I watched one episode and almost threw up. If anybody has seen this, what was it called?
It has a name, and I think it was Night.
Please
something.
tell me that they have gotten rid of it. It's like Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey at night or something.
Dude, if y'all haven't seen it, it is so bad. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that's still going on. I got to look this up right now because I can't believe I haven't brought this to the table. It's the worst television I've seen in years. It's a bunch of former football players. They call it Late Night with Jason Kelsey.
Bravo.
Holy cow, that's all it is. And again, it's basically him dressing up and doing stupid acts and slamming beers and fart jokes. And again, I'm childish. Very. I know. I am childish. I'm stupid. Like, what was it? Somebody was saying something, oh my gosh, I can't believe he laughed at that. And I'm like, dude, that was funny. They're like, you are so childish. All right, if childish humor makes me laugh, I'd rather laugh and have a beautiful, beautiful day. And if small things make me happy, I'm happier than you.
Small things like the Lil Polo League?
Lil Polo League. Now, that's one of my favorite little things.
I don't think you're childish, John. I think you have a lot of Shaqtin' the Fool qualities.
Maybe that's it. I just don't take everything too serious, but this was one of the worst. I can't believe I wasted like 30 minutes. It was more like a slow car crash that somehow I was able to just to slow everything down. Like you don't want to watch that for 30 minutes, do you?
I haven't.
Well, don't watch it. If you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just awful. But now we got to again, we've looked at the game. Tell me what you think again about Jalen Hurts really going forward. And what do we think about the Kansas City Chiefs? Because I also have some crazy new nuggets. You know what happens to most teams after they lose a Super Bowl?
They never get back?
Not never get back. I mean, I'm talking about basically the very next year. Kansas City Chiefs, they were different in the whole situation. They came back and won one after they lost one. But I want you to realistically think about it. if you look at like what happened to your 49ers, did they make the playoffs? They were in the Super Bowl last year.
No, we were the Bills, John. You're right.
Yeah, didn't make it, did you? Didn't make it.
You gotta say it like that.
There's a lot of teams who, after they lose the Super Bowl, things hit them hard. And I don't know if you know this. Remember, I was talking about how the Eagles have really only 2 free agents that are of note. Kansas City's got 28. And that already bad offensive line doesn't look like you're going to be able to retain your best offensive line, Mr. Smith. That's not good for Patty. They already don't have any wide receivers, and guess what? They're like Juju, and I know they're bad, but they're all free agents too.
Hey, doesn't sooner or later that deferred, not necessarily deferred money, but that money from Mahomes' contract, he kind of pushed it towards the back end where he's making like 50, 60 mil. That kicks in pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
He gave him a homer discount on the front end. They have to pay the piper at some point.
I wonder if it's right around the corner. We're going to talk about that on the other side because I got to take a quick time out. I did want to remind you hungry? I'm kind of hungry. I'm telling you right now, a cold day, rainy day like this, I can go over to Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. Give me, oh my God, the menu's just stacked. Today's the kind of day, though, I wouldn't mind a little before noon margarita. They got them right now. But right now they have lunch specials. $7 to $11. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Happy hours from 3 to 8. You need to check them out. Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. They got some real good hot soups. I could do some soup today. Got the avocado and the chicken, man. Fire. Check out Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. We're going to be back in 2 shakes. We got a little more NFL action. Don't forget, we got some bets. We got Ken Wisenhunt, who's going to join us, the coach of the Showboats. That and so much more. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday is happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off meal drinks, $4.50 for house wine, mozzarella sticks, queso, $4 a day. Friday night lights from 7 o'clock. Dining in Montreal, Wednesday, 5 a.m. Free. I'll watch college football and every pro game. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, Fall is football.
Owning your own home is wonderful, and buying your own home can be wonderfully easy. If your agent is Margie O'Neill of Remax Expert, Margie has over 20 years of experience in helping folks just like you find their new home. Buyer's market, seller's market, up and down markets, Margie has sold them all with a dedication that makes it easy for you to buy your new home. Margie O'Neill at Remax.net. That's MARGIE.ONEAL at Remax.net. Or call 901-685-6000 for your new home. Margie O'Neill makes it easy.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. My goodness, man. Super Bowl's gone. The NFL is over. It kind of hurts a little bit, doesn't it? It does. But we're still talking football because I'm still not over it. I still got that fever. I will say I think Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl because of some of the teams that are drafting, especially in the top of the first round. I have a feeling Jalen Milroe's stock went up just because, please. Dude, you know, like the Jets are drafting 7th. You know that, right?
And you think they
I
like
could see
Miro?
them be like, look, a running quarterback who's big and strong. We can do the same thing with him.
Or they could be the Colts.
Guess what? They both played at Alabama. Don't act like it's like they're all geniuses up in there. Like, look what they're doing in Dallas. Come on now. They were talking about even trading my man Micah Parsons. There were some rumors about that. Like, dude, Darren, relax.
They'd get quite a haul for him. But I'm afraid Milroe would be Anthony Richardson, man. I'm just afraid of him. Like,
Oh, I don't think he would be good. I'm just saying
oh, okay, good.
by just the way everybody is. Like, all of a sudden, once you see something, the new shiny toy, you're like, hey, what can replicate that? Oh, let's make something that looks just like it. And again, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. You got the Titans and the Jets and all kinds of, like, goofballs up there.
If I'm the Titans, I'd drop that pick off and go and get Myles Garrett.
They would, like, the Titans have. Wait.
Yep.
Now you just changed my whole little thing because I'm going to start here before I get back to where I was. Bro, you know who the Titans have on, like, their roster at quarterback, right? Will Levis, Mason Rudolph. Do you know Will Levis last year had 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Let's not forget his 10 fumbles.
You want me
22 turnovers, 13 tutties. You need a quarterback so bad, it's not even funny.
And you're correct, John. So since I'm the general manager of the Titans, I'm simply to go and sign that bad man who's not going to be in New Jersey.
Aaron Rodgers.
For 1 year. Yep.
And you're going to miss out on the future? Then who's going to be your quarterback of the future? You wait until next year's draft class because you don't like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's kind of what I'm getting.
Yep. But I have Myles Garrett.
And Aaron
Build
Rodgers.
on defense. Look at what you just saw. You saw defense.
Uh-oh.
Titan fans are going to kill him. But, hey, I'd do it for 1 year.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, by the way, dating pool would probably, Nashville.
Oh, Nashville's right up his alley, right?
Like, dude, I'm serious, man. He would probably do real good.
He'd love some Nashville, would he?
Definitely would love. Oh, my gosh. We got Lil Polo coming up in this bad boy still. I love you. LPL, still strong, kicking
Still
it.
strong.
We bring in
2
this,
weeks
baby.
later.
Oh, my goodness. By the way, I got LPL. Thank you, Junior Fortune Hunter. She made already some T-shirts.
Stop it.
We got business cards.
For
Dude,
real?
I'm going with this. Would you rather watch the Super Bowl or Lil Polo? LPL, baby.
Lil
Little
LPL.
jousting. I'm watching it all. Little sprint car.
Little trophies, too, right? Gotta have little trophies.
Oh, God, yeah. You'd have little everything.
Gotta have little trophies.
Everything's going to be a little. Like, we'll even get them little bitty beers so it doesn't look like they're holding a court. You know what I'm saying? My boy Carlos, we call Lil J again with the little bitty hands. Who rolls little bitty joints.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of excited. He's like, dude, when are sign-ups? I'm like, dude, pump your brakes.
Winner sign.
Lil J, hold on. It's in its infancy. We got to crawl before we can walk, Lil J. I can't wait. By the way, man, sorry about that. The Lil Polo and the Lil People League.
It's your brainchild. It's your baby.
The LPL, by the way, is our league, the Lil People League. So we got it all. It's going big, remember. But back to the quarterbacks. Like, if you're the Titans and everything, like, you're crazy, by the way, Darian. I love you with all your heart. Like, man.
Why mortgage your future on a quarterback you don't know what?
Because what can you win right now? And a lot of people right now are going to say, and here's what a Nashville person would say. And I'm not this guy. This guy is not in this year's draft.
No.
Maybe that's what you're holding out for. Maybe next year if you don't believe Shedeur or Cam or this guy. But Washington went from the second pick in last year's NFL draft. Cellar dwellers, pathetic. and they just played in the NFC Championship game. And guess what? They gave about as good a fight as the damn Kansas City Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. That Eagles defense juggernaut. Howie Roseman, we're going to talk about how you construct a team versus how you build an actual team. I mean, we can go back to the Eagles. Remember when they tried to do the dream team and that thing failed miserably? Do you remember that?
Vaguely. Who was on that team?
Man, you had like Vic. You had they brought up dream team, dream team.
Was T.O. on that team?
Man, I can't remember. It was
But
because do you know why I can't remember?
because they didn't win.
Because they didn't win.
But hey, the NFL is also a business. So go the Jerry Jones route. If you have
No, don't go the Jerry Jones
look,
route.
if you have
Go the
Aaron
Howie
Rodgers,
Roseman route.
if you have
Kansas
Aaron
City
Rodgers
Chiefs
on one
route.
side and
You
Myles
build
Garrett
with
on the
the
other side,
draft.
you're gonna sell some tickets, John. You got a new stadium coming up in 2 years. You're gonna sell some tickets, man. Because you're not winning anything. You already said it. You go get T. Higgins from Cincinnati, who will be a free agent.
You talking about Jerry?
No, I'm talking about in Tennessee.
I mean, dude,
You just go to Jerry.
I'm not going to lie to
Yeah.
you. If the Bengals can't get a long-term
Nope.
deal with him done, then you franchise tag him for a second year. He might be mad, but at least it gives you another year to work out a deal.
Throw the bag at them. I hope they don't franchise.
I'm just saying, hey, it worked out for Kirk Cousins, didn't it?
Or you go get the Minnesota quarterback. What about him? You don't like him?
Sam Darnold?
Yeah, he'll be a free agent. They're letting him walk. They're ready to go with McCarthy.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess the Titans, your season is doomed. I don't know what else.
It's a great, you know what? I have no idea. But that was Mike Vick, by the way, that crazy one. They went out and got Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. They got Nnamdi Asomugha, Steve Smith. That's just Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy were already on that team. They had Vince Young, like, backing up.
He sure was. I saw them in person. He sure was the backup.
That was, like, again, that was supposed to be a stellar team. They were like, yeah. And then they went terrible. Go out and get a bunch of free agents doesn't always work. Doesn't work a lot. That's why when we get to the NBA, I'm going to say, like, everybody's talking about Luka and the Mavs.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no.
That was awesome.
The thing that's going to be awesome is you watch the winner of this year's trade deadline will be the San Antonio Spurs and De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. You really think the Lakers are going to be contending in a few years? I don't. Do you think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be contending in a few years? I sure as hell don't. But I sure as hell do think the Spurs will.
That's blasphemy, John.
De'Aaron Fox.
I'm not
and
buying on the
Wemby.
I'm not buying on the Mavericks, but that is Luka, dude. That there will be a team built around him that does not include LeBron James.
Dude, I'm glad that, yeah, but you think this little run of LeBron's over? No. They don't even have a center, Mark Williams. Like, this year, they ain't doing jack.
Of course not. This is house money. Just roll the dice, go for it.
I'm
They're in
just
third
saying,
place.
I still think that you watch Spurs in 3
I like
years
the Fox
are
move,
going to
though.
be farther along than the Lakers. My crystal ball says hail to the yes. Did you see Fox in his first game? They didn't even have a practice. Man,
I saw it. He had, I think 24 points. He had 30 last night.
25 points.
He had 30 last
First
night.
2 games, my man's just balling. Wemby can run up and down the court. They are going to be a nightmare. Like, realistic, you know how much I love the Grizz. With Wemby and De'Aaron Fox on the court, you can't have Edie and Ja on at the same time either because Edie couldn't keep up with Wemby up and down because they're going to be running 90-0. And I know the Grizzlies play fast. But, dude, watching those two boys get up and down that court with his giraffe self running around looking all crazy, it's filthy. I love me some Luka. Don't get me wrong. Just
In
saying.
3 years.
Like, there's also a chance. Like, in San Antonio, ain't nothing going on. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Nothing but the
Nothing.
rodeo. Nothing
Just
but the
chilling.
rodeo.
Man, just floating down the river, baby.
Floating down the river.
Floating, sitting there just chilling.
Little mariachi band.
Dude, I could see, like, Luka next thing you know, he's going to be with the Kardashian, and then his career is going to be run. Remember, Kim liked them basketball players. I think right now the only thing she's got is a robot. And I'm talking about a real robot, not something you buy at an adult bookstore. Do you know what I'm saying? Y'all are probably thinking, no. She has a
What were we thinking?
I know what y'all are thinking because it came out of my mouth. Y'all are thinking I was talking dirty, like a toy. No. She has a real robot. The first one, or so, like, I don't know, Tesla, man. Like little Elon built a robot or somebody and Like she walks around and goes shopping with it, and it carries her damn bags. You hadn't seen this?
She has a little robot.
She has a little robot. I'll tell you one thing, little people right there, they start making little robots, I'd get furious. Be like, don't even do that. There ain't no R2D2 up in this joint. Like, you got to go C-3PO, full-size robots, no little robots. That'd just be rude. Like, come on, man. Only when you're like one of 651,000, you don't want more coming. Makes you less valuable. How you think they're going to make all their money on the little polo league? All of a sudden, we got little robots. We screwed. What was I talking about? Damn it, little polo league. You just got me again. We were talking about supposedly football, and Darian got me off subject talking about what the Tennessee Titans do. And again, I honestly can't tell you.
They got to do something, though.
I have a clue. The Titans right now, like you look at a few franchises that I don't have. Like, what the hell is New Orleans going to do? They got they owe. God, this is so bad. It makes my stomach.
They got a new
Derek
coach.
Carr $51 million next year.
That's the going rate for an okay quarterback.
He's definitely not probably in this new regime's plan. Do you think he is?
He has to be, right? Otherwise, that hard cap is going.
I mean, we watched Denver go ahead and cut ties with Russell Wilson.
That took cojones, though.
Yeah,
Like-
Sean's got him, though.
Yeah, that took cojones. Because if you recall, they wanted to do it the year before, but that hit was just too much.
I mean, I don't know what New Orleans is going to do. I really don't.
They got a new coach, or they're getting a new coach.
I was going to say, what's the regime's plan right now? Because I thought they were waiting on little homie,
Little Kellen Moore.
little Kellen Moore,
Yeah,
little homie.
He only has a little
pouty
parade to go
face.
to first.
Yeah, that's not till what, Friday?
Yeah.
They
He
had
got
to
a little parade.
put all the street signs back up and the lights and everything after they got torn down after the Super Bowl. Damn, Philly, what's up with that? Nobody in the city could drive the next day. Lights laying in the damn. You know you need stop signs for a reason, people. They do kind of prevent.
The only
motor
thing I can tell you
accidents.
about that, if the Grizz ever put a banner up there, you could only
Great.
imagine.
So now I'm gonna have to what, like get in the car and leave?
No, you got to walk or do whatever, but lights and signs are coming down.
Would you be out there in it?
No, John, we're journalists. We're
I would be
professionals.
videotaping it. That's what I was saying. I was like, I would be out there in it, but I'd be videotaping.
You'd be inside Silkies.
I'd be like, look at these crazy people. By the way, this is brought to you by Tito's. If life hands you lemons, you don't freak out, you don't fret, you don't stress. You just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best, and that's Tito's handmade vodka. We talked a little bit about Tennessee and how they're very hapless at the quarterback situation. Told you about New Orleans. What about Las Vegas? Like, what's Pete Carroll going to do? Is he going to go get his little boyfriend? Hey, Russ, you remember them good old days in Seattle?
I heard
Like, you
Tom
ever
don't want 'em,
married?
John.
I do know somebody that has married one of his ex-wives twice. Like, he was married to her, he got divorced, married another woman, then divorced her,
I can
and then
see
got
that.
back with the other wife.
Yeah.
And he's very happy. They're very happy. Like, I guess, sometimes that second chance, you're like, hey, I know what I did wrong in the first one. Maybe, I learned from my mistakes.
You get older. So
Okay, but that can work for a relationship. This is the National Football League. Pete, don't go back to your old little girlfriend because Russell Wilson will not be the answer in Las Vegas.
I think I saw a report where you don't have to worry about that. I don't think Tom Brady wants him. So
I bet he doesn't. Tom's like, Russ thinks he's like all that in a bag of chips. Tom Brady thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. Could you imagine those two guys with their egos in the same room?
now Tom would kick his butt.
He'd be going TB12, TB12, and he'd be going, let's ride.
Let's cook. Let Russ cook.
Let Russ cook. Let's ride.
a lot of TB12 and let Russ cook.
TB12, TB12. Let's cook. Let's cook. Speaking of the quarterback situations that suck, Jets are destroyed and disheveled. Rodgers is not their future plans. And in the same damn city, look at the Giants. They got Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock,
Lock.
and Tim Boyle.
You're wrong for that.
I mean, somebody actually asked the question, is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to get a job in the NFL? Dude, you heard I know that it was a disaster with the Jets and everything.
He played good the last half of the season.
Oh, come on, he's washed.
He
Him
is.
and Travis Kelce need to sail off together, go sail away, do whatever the hell you want to do. Welcome, wait for your Hall of Fame. Get started, baby. Get the clock started. Let's get ready for the Hall. Because right now you really can't play ball. But if you look at the quarterback situation in this year's draft, you better figure something out because there are a lot of teams out there who are looking ugly. On the other side, though, we do got to come back and talk about some of the best quarterbacks. The whole situation with Jalen Hurts. Darian, audience, how many quarterbacks, if you're drafting, if you're a general manager and you're picking, and your first pick is Pat Mahomes. All right, he's not there. Who are you picking? You can pick any quarterback in the National Football League. How far down the line do you go before you get to Jalen Hurts?
You want that answer now? I got it.
Nope. On
Okay.
the other side, don't you dare touch that dial. We're back in Two Shake Sports 56. Dude, more little people. Dude, they got little people cheerleading. They said, how can you forget your daughter? You know what? You just broke my heart. I'm a bad dad. Little cheer.
Little cheer.
Oh, my gosh. Little cheerleading.
Who are feeding you these
We
ideas?
might be little, but we're loud. Come on now, you know we're proud. Let's go. Let's go. Lil Polo, yo, let's go. I like it, dude. Little cheerleaders doing their little thing.
With little pom-poms.
With little bitty pom-poms. Oh, and little bitty cards. Like, instead of holding up action, they'd get an index card. Because, like, you have to write it on the one without the lines because the back of people probably don't even know what index cards because they just use computers.
I knew you were going index
They do
cards.
little
I knew
index
that.
cards and little pom-poms. This is the cutest idea I've had all day. Little cartwheels, little pyramids.
A little pyramid.
Oh, dude, that's a cute one right there. We got to take a time out. We're going to get back onto a little football. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom-made solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
One sign that a bar is a great bar is their signature cocktails, and the signature cocktails at Bell Tavern really set the place apart. Maybe just a simple 3-whiskey old-fashioned with a house blend of domestic whiskeys, or a barrel-aged Manhattan with Rittenhouse Rye, Rockwell Sweet Vermouth, barrel-aged bitters, and maraschino cherries. Those are two of the incredible drinks you can get at Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar, and there are many, many more. Combine those drinks in the friendly atmosphere, and you've got Bell Tavern.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wallow said hello.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little two-stepping Tuesday. Damn. We've been talking a little everything. Little polo, little cheer. We got a little cheerleading now. Sorry, I forgot it. How could I forget? I mean, my daughter could coach the team. You know, she is a national champ from Ole Miss. Gotta like that. But now we got into a little quarterbacking. And this is very serious. I want you to just kind of sit back, digest what we've seen. The Eagles, what a run. What a run. And what can you say? Jalen Hurts in his 2 Super Bowls, completing over 70% of his passes, has over 600 yards. Man runs for touchdowns like it's going out of style in the Super Bowl. Also has the lead, like from a quarterback position. He's first and second in his 2 Super Bowls with the most rushing yards from that position. Like, he's got great numbers. He's played great in the biggest games. But it does remind me not only a lot of like Kurt Warner and how those teams were built, that he had everybody and their grandmother. I mean, right there when he hit the ground running, they were running because that offensive line was filthy. Eagles' offensive line is filthy. Again, we got to give credit to Dick Vermeil, who brought in Marty Ball, where they were throwing that junk all around the yard with Marshall Faulk back there, and of course Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. I mean, that team, they were just filthy. You also got to look at, and the reason I also think it's different, what's different about Kurt Warner and Jalen Hurts is Kurt Warner's arm talents were uncanny. He threw the ball right where it needed to be. He read defenses, he processed information, and he got the ball out to his playmakers. They were the greatest show on turf. Jalen Hurts does it more like, guess who? Eli Manning. And you're like, John, you can run better than Eli. No crap. But look at the teams, the way they are constructed. What was so great about those Giants defenses? Their pass rush. What was great about those Giants team? Oh, their defense. Eli Manning made the big throws down the stretch when he had to. Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice. Pat Mahomes, the guy we have been comparing to Tom Brady, saying that he might catch Tom Brady or he could be GOAT level like Tom Brady. He was 1-1. But, and then not even a but, actually, there's even more similarities. I mean, Eli, while he does have 2 Super Bowl rings, he was MVP in those 2 Super Bowls. You know he was never an All-Pro, but you know who is? Jalen Hurts was. But are those teams not very similar when they were constructed if you think about those 2 Super Bowl teams? I would say yes. I mean, I think he's more Eli Manning than Lamar Jackson. That's for damn sure. I mean, while we think about Lamar, he's the most elite runner in the National Football League. Hurts is probably, I would say, the 4th best. I got Hurts behind Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. But thrower and talent of the football, I don't have him all the way up there.
Correct. And that's very correct. I couldn't think of the Giants running back.
You're talking about
Brandon Jacobs. That's who it was. Because you were talking about the makeup, and I was thinking about the whole
Jeremy
Saquon.
Shockey.
Yep. Wasn't Tiki back there, or was that Rondé? That was Tiki. Right?
Rondé did not ever get his.
Rondé
played for Tampa Bay and
Bay.
got one,
Yep.
And then poor Tiki. Remember, he retired, and he didn't ever get a Super Bowl ring. I'm pretty damn sure that's right.
Oh, you're saying Tiki was not on that team. Let me take a peek.
I think he retired right before they won that bad boy, and I think it was big bad Brandon Jacobs running folks over. But again, this is my memory that we're trying to adjust, so you might want to double check. Now, back to Jalen Hurts. Where do you have him? I don't have him ahead of Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry. I know the Eagles beat him, but again, it was defense, man. I'm not ever going to sit there and pretend that Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson were the best quarterbacks in the National Football League when they won their Super Bowl. Stan Humphries was good. They got to the Super Bowl. They lost in the Super Bowl. Teams that are constructed extremely well and play great defense, have great running backs, have great, just have studs, they can win a lot of football games. But I definitely am not, I'm taking Pat. I'm taking Josh Allen, the MVP, the reigning MVP. And you know who else I'm taking? Right now, this is going to sound crazy to you. I think I'd take Jaden Daniels over Lamar Jackson.
Stop it.
Dude, I'm serious.
Stop it.
Okay, so have you ever seen a rookie year like that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Dude, it was the Washington Commanders. The kid on 4th down, ain't nobody been like him. This dude doesn't feel pressure. Who throws a better ball, Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson? Jaden Daniels all day. every day, twice on
Oh,
freaking Sunday.
John.
Look, Lamar Jackson is now a great thrower of the football. He had a
Correct.
hell of a year. Jaden Daniels also, though, is so damn young. I got a lot more years.
You don't have to see it again before you say that.
Nah, dude, because I think I got.
All
You know
right.
what, man? I don't know if you know this. When a 10 walks in and I see her, I say, "Yep, I'm good." And if there was a former 10 and now she's an 8, I can also recognize that. And I feel like Lamar, as he is a 10 right now, right down the road, like in 3 or 4 years, I can see him drop into a 9 to an 8, while Jaden Daniels is sitting there. What would you do with a couple 10-10-10s? I mean, let's be real, dude. For a rookie quarterback to have north of 100 QBR rating for the season, threw for 3,600 yards. Dude, by the way, he threw for 822 more in the 3 playoff games that he played.
Do you know that led the playoffs?
30 touchdowns.
You know that led
yeah,
the
led
playoffs.
the dude.
Even
He was
by
the
not
best
getting to
thrower
the
of
Super
the
Bowl.
football in the postseason.
He had the most playoff touchdown passes.
And by the way, he's on a rookie contract. Like, if you make all things equal right now, yes, if I'm a general manager, and I know I didn't say this before, and I'm kind of like tilting this in my argument's favor for sure, he's on a rookie deal, Holmes. Start the band. He's on a rookie deal. Lamar's maxed. Like, he making bank. I'm just saying. Lamar right now is better than Jaden Daniels. Okay?
Thank you. That's it.
I'm not saying that. Again, I'm saying right now I got him on a rookie deal. This cat's different. And again, like, do you realize how bad that Washington team was without him? And the only major difference, because that defense is still just pathetic, was him. Now they did bring in a new coaching staff. I got to give Dan a lot of credit. Like yes, new ownership, a
Little
lot
Cliff.
of things. Look, Kingsbury.
Yeah, little Kingsbury.
Great job this year. As
Not a
OC.
great head coach, but a great OC apparently.
Dude, he knows how to, he Cliff knows one thing. He can score. He just might not, how do we say this? If we put it in like, he's not husband material.
Correct. There you go.
See what I'm saying? Like, the guy who's, the dude that's going to be the fatherly figure of the organization. Like, Cliff looks like he can cut up,
The
go
big
drinks,
brother.
do some shots of Tito's with
Yeah.
you, chase a little this, chase a little that.
He's the big brother with great hair.
Yeah. And that's what's great for an offensive coordinator. It's another thing. That's why, like Cliff's cool, while Ben Johnson, on the other hand, who's going to Chicago, is a goober. I just don't think he's going to work. Or, I mean, Liam Cohen, who knows with Jacksonville? It's Jacksonville. Doubt it's going to work. But yeah, man, Jaden Daniels, and then Lamar Jackson, and then how far do you go before you get to Jalen Hurts? How far do you keep going? I know one thing. I bet Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, who you want, Darian?
Broccoli.
Oh, Lord. We're back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the
Join us celebrating 26 years of Napa Cafe. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations, fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad. Or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. I'd sure love to see you.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 11 to join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is the CMC Church in downtown Memphis.
56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis with Brett Mooresworthy and Bryant Dacus. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little wet Tuesday out there, baby. Wet, wet, wet. And I know a lot of people out there are a little bit sad. They're like, man, football's over, man. It's over. It's not over. Do you know we got football in 46 days, 22 hours, and 53 freaking minutes?
I know that, John, but you need to tell the audience.
Memphis Showboats, baby. Memphis Showboats next game's March 30th, 2025. Their head coach, Ken Wizen Hunt, will be in today at 12:30.
Our new coach.
Our new coach.
Last coach didn't work out.
You know what? Sometimes you just got to cut ties and move on. And next thing you know, you're going to find that one that's just right for you. Hopefully Ken Wizen Hunt, right for the Showboats as they kick things off over on March 30th. But we got to talk a little bit about football. We've been talking a lot about football. Been talking about Jalen Hurts. Where do we have him? Y'all let me know. Again, I already said, 6 quarterbacks that I'm definitely taking over him?
Yeah, and you just got me beat up with that last question. The Eagle just texted me and crushed me, said you can't possibly take Brock Purdy over Jalen Hurts. And right now you can't. In all honesty, you can't. So let me clear that up so I don't get beat up after work.
Jaden Daniels. Lord, I do have a crush on that man, Lord. Jalen Hurts, by the way, if he was listening to this, all he would do is start playing, all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
That's all he would have to do.
But then, again, this is a very, very real, serious question. Again, people are talking about, I read the list earlier, right? He's on a list of only one of 9 quarterbacks since 1994 to be a Super Bowl MVP and an All-Pro, and the list is absolutely ridiculous. Again, you, of course, got Pat Mahomes. You got Tom Brady. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got Drew Brees. You got Kurt Warner, Peyton Manning, John Elway, and Steve Young. That's feisty. That's kind of nasty, right? And now Jalen Hurts. Doesn't feel like quite the same. But he is just a winner. So now that we look at the Super Bowl and it is over, what do y'all think about the future? Well, I can tell you what the odds think. They have dropped some of the odds for next year's Super Bowls, and it's kind of telling on a few things. Because you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, it's just going to be this, and this. No. You know who's going to be – who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl next year?
I know that. You want that?
It's the Eagles.
Yep.
Eagles, again, 2 major free agents out of their 22 starters. Only 2. Zach Bond. Their middle linebacker, who they're going to re-up. Again, brought him as a special team player. Turned out to be their starting linebacker and went all-pro. Dude went sick.
What's that MGM book?
The Super Bowl odds?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember. No, I don't think it was. Because I got it off of Sports Illustrated. Their little website. I still actually have that, yes.
Because on FanDuel, they have the Chiefs and the Ravens tied for.
Get out of here.
Yep.
All right, now I just pulled mine up. That's the dumbest thing in the world. I told you what happens after you usually.
But I don't have MGM. I got to get that one.
I love MGM. That's the one I dig. But I told you what happens usually to the teams after they lose a Super Bowl, right? They usually fall off the map. Oh my gosh, it does. I just looked it up. They got the Chiefs 600, Eagles plus 700, Buffalo Bill at third, tied with the Ravens, Lions, 49ers, Packers.
Somebody
And
don't
then
know what they're
everything
talking
goes
about.
down, down, down. But I just kind of told you a little bit about the Kansas City Chiefs situation. Did I not? Or was I trying to? Like, you look at history. And again, if you look at history, history repeats itself, does it not? A lot of times. And I said it, there's 28 free agents. And if you look back at just the last 6 Super Bowls, let's just use the last 6. The Rams, 2018. They lost the Super Bowl, finished 9-7. 2019, San Francisco 49ers lost the Super Bowl, missed out on the playoffs. 2020 Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. They did make the playoffs, but lost to Cincinnati in the championship game. So they did not get back to the Super Bowl. Cincinnati Bengals lost the Super Bowl. 2021, they made the playoffs, lost to Kansas City. Eagles lost the Super Bowl, made the playoffs, lost in the wild card. 49ers lost the Super Bowl last year, missed the playoffs. In the last 6 years, 3 of the 6 teams missed the playoffs. Kansas City's one team that did not miss the playoffs. But I have a feeling like things are just really weird right now in Kansas City. Like if you're betting that, that's just because you love Andy Reid and believe he can get you back there. Because right now, again, 28 free agents. Their wide receiver room ever since Tyreek Hill's been gone has always been a question, right? Well, they got first-round draft pick Xavier Worthy. He had a great performance, but you know the fellow wide receivers? You got Marquise Brown. He's going to be gone. He's a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins, free agent. Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, and Justin Watson. They're all free agents. Now, will Rashee Rice be back? Yes. Has he been punished yet?
I don't believe so.
So that's still got to also play out again. Like, so you got one guy who's awesome. If he's healthy, he's going to be Gucci on that field, but he's still got a little punishment. Xavier Worthy, faster than Cooter Brown. But your wide receivers, outside of that, who you got? Right now, nobody. They're all free agents. Who you going to bring back? Who can you afford? Who you going to bring in to help? Let's not forget, I asked the question, is Travis Kelce washed? He sure couldn't block. Do you know how bad Travis Kelce was for his standards? And again, these are his standards. My man had the fewest of any career playoff run where he played 3 games. He had 6 receptions, 58 yards in the final 2 playoff games of the year. Both of them combined. This year, he only had 13 total receptions in 3 games for 175 yards. When this dude last year had 32 receptions, 355 yards. The year before that, 27 receptions. The year before that, 23 receptions. The year before that, 21. It's been going up, going up. Man, it just fell off the cliff. So you're not a little bit worried about Travis Kelce, the wide receiving room? And I think the biggest question mark on the entire team for me, because the defense is young, they've drafted extremely well. You keep Spags, you Gucci. And he's interviewed for a few head coaching jobs. One aspect, he's going to be back. But, man, their offensive line, Trey Smith will be a free agent. You think that Brett Veach is going to be able to afford him? I don't think so. Like, I don't know how you keep your star left guard who wasn't able to play. Man, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of question marks. And then, by the way, there's another crazy thing, which just kind of makes me wonder about the Hunts. This has to do with business, and, you know, money makes the world go round. Kansas City voted down a sales tax to upgrade Arrowhead Stadium. Now the Hunts got to make a decision. If they're not going to get the financial funding, do they need to go ahead and dome that joint out so they can actually host Super Bowls? It's kind of an interesting question, man. You start putting more money in actually what you're, you know, I'm just saying that's the Jerry Jones route. Build Jerry land in Kansas City, but it'll be Huntville. Dude,
Buffalo should have thought about that too. They don't have a covering on their new stadium either. I don't know why, but
I like it being outside, damn
It's
it. I
outside,
don't need
yeah.
everything to be inside. It's not called arena football, damn it. It's the NFL.
it's Buffalo, John.
It's awesome.
It's a part of it.
It's awesome.
But they have
Baltimore, I like the fact they're outside. Cleveland, outside. I don't want these teams going in.
You don't.
No.
That's how you get the best football, though.
No, it's not. Dude, your best football in your world.
Did you like that snow game?
Do you want everything to be always equal and the same? No, that's called video games. I like the fact that when you go to Kansas City, you're outdoors. I don't really want them to a stadium. I love the fact when you're in Philadelphia, you have crazy, crazy fans and that snow coming down, and they're out there screaming and yelling like a bunch of madmen. Denver, you got you got enough sofas inside. You got plenty of damn
little Levi stadiums. No, that's not
got,
inside. That's outside.
You got, you got the Cowboys. You got your indoor arenas. I mean, do you want Seattle not playing in their nasty weather? That's dope. Snow coming down sideways, 12 men freaking out.
Yeah, but they did it right. In Buffalo, I saw remnants of it, and they have the.
I don't hear you complaining about the Giants or the Jets.
Yeah, that's supposed to be cold.
I mean, you can go
Think
down to
about
New Orleans
G-Man.
where it's hot and you're in a dome. And that's just to protect you from all the yahoos outside. But anyway, I've gotten off track a little bit. Got to get back on track. But I think the Chiefs, this might. I'm not saying that, like, Pat's going to get back to another big game. Pat's awesome.
You think?
Maybe. You hope
Allegedly.
so. Allegedly. Like, he has the talent. But right now, realistically, they're going to have to completely do a rebuild. 28 free agents. They don't have a whole lot of money. He's getting paid. That thing's coming up. They need wide receivers. They need a new tight end. They need an offensive line. Like, the thing that's crazy is, let's be real. The last 2 years, they've been winning with their defense. And Pat Mahomes making plays on fourth down and in the fourth quarter. And, I mean, have they not been down by like 10 points or more in the fourth quarter almost like every Super Bowl, it feels like?
Every.
And, yeah, Pat brings them back. But, yeah, they need a lot. They need a lot. We've been talking tons and tons and tons of football because it's important. I got all of it. But you know what? I need to do a little small Hardenwood fool. Also, one other note of note. Did you see this? I just saw this. Somebody texted me, Jameis Winston wants to play for the Titans.
That could be doable. I would still go.
I mean, he's
Aaron
a
Rodgers
turnover
first.
machine.
I would go. Not lately, John. That was old him. He kind of played okay for Cleveland. He played okay for Cleveland. He won some big games. Remember, he beat Pittsburgh.
I mean, yes, again, but it's better than right now Will Levis.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
I mean, if you move down and you say that this isn't the quarterback draft class for you, I can see bringing Jameis Winston in for a year before he does TV for like full time. Turning the ball over not as much. Well, he'll probably turn the ball as much as Will Levis, but at least he can throw touchdown passes.
Or if you didn't like the first round pick, maybe that was a little too rich. What if you go second round pick for Myles Garrett, draft Abdul Carter? Now you got bookends.
I like that actually.
Now you got bookends. Now you can get to said quarterback.
Damn, we saw what like you get there with Ford.
You got to get there. I'm in love with the defensive line now. Like I understand what Patty Mahomes can do. I understand what Hurts can do. But it was all about sweat.
But the
in
problem
that
with
line,
Tennessee
man.
has never been their defense. Their offense is just so booty.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Tennessee actually. Let's just not like. I mean, I hate to say it. You know, like that. There's that big old boy named Jeffrey Simmons up in there, and you got Tavondre Sweat. Sebastian Joseph Day wasn't terrible. Is Arden Key ever going to make it the freak at LSU that was supposed to be like super athlete?
With all due respect to Javon Curse, there's only one freak.
Yeah, that's true. Came
Okay.
out of Florida.
Okay.
Chomp chomp.
Little Tennessee type.
Played
man.
at Tennessee.
Hey, and I just
Number
looked up.
99 or 98?
I think he was 98. I think he was at 98.
98, I think, too.
Chiefs not in salary cap hell like I thought with Mahomes. His salary cap hit last year would have been $113 million. This year, 2025, was
restructured it already.
77. Yep. So now it drops. Next year, 2026, drops down to 29 million. So that big wahoo that I was talking about, I think that's already happened.
All right, fool. Good job. Well, they still got a lot of people they got to re-sign, and they got to get that offensive line fixed. They got to figure out what they're going to do with Travis Kelce, and their wide receiver situation is not all that great. But they still got Pat, Andy Reid, and Spag, so I think they'll be okay, but we'll see next year. Again, I'm sorry, man. Like, the NFL, I mean, like you get back T. Higgins. Like Cleveland's going to be back. You know, Lamar and the Ravens are going to be back. Buffalo's going to be back. Everybody else is going to be working. Houston Texans continue every single year to get better. C.J. Stroud ain't going nowhere, bro. I don't know if Jim Harbaugh can. I don't know if it's just the organization, but Justin Herbert can't get it done in the postseason. I don't know what's going on out the West Coast. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be tough for Kansas City just to continue to have that excellence. I mean, my man's been to 7 straight AFC championship games.
I mean, and Denver only has the
5
defensive
last
player of the
6
year.
Super Bowls.
You know they're right. Denver only has the defensive player of the year, too.
That is another,
Mr. Surtain.
That is another good point.
Bo Nix ain't looking
Patrick
that bad.
don't play. Bo Nix looked really good as a rookie. Really, 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 really good.
And Broncos had a really good defensive end guy, too. Did he get like 12, 13 sacks? I forget his name.
The whole team as a whole, like they were getting it. Like basically, the Broncos defense was getting it from everybody. Like they were just like 1 week it'd be blah blah blah. Next week it's blah blah blah. I mean Zach Allen, Jordan Davis, DJ Jones. I mean I think it was a whole team effort. Trying to think like who you'd be thinking about, just the one super stud. I always think about that cornerback. Anyway. We're going to do a little bit of small. We got a little Ken Wisenhunt in the house. We're about to talk a little bit about the show, but I know a lot of people, again.
Nick Bonito. That was him.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah, he had like 12, 13 sacks.
Linebacker.
Yep, linebacker. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Patty Mahomes, you better get right.
Yeah, Patty better get right. Everybody better get right. But NFL, Super Bowl's over. We've been talking a lot about it. We've been also talking with Little People League. Thank you all. Keep those coming at 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Did want to remind you, sometimes you need to get away. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester Road. That's your spot. 6 pool tables. 2 dartboards. Oh, yes, and a golden tee. A beautiful bar. TVs everywhere. The coldest beer in town. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester Road. They are ready for you 24/7, 365. You get in there, you get you a cold beer, you sit back and you chill. Make it your SEC bar on Tuesday nights when you want to go watch a bunch of SEC hoops. Like tonight, we got great action again. Tennessee, Kentucky in Rupp. Remember, Kentucky beat Tennessee. Can they return the favor? Mississippi State at home against Florida, who, by the way, Florida jumped up to number 3 in the country. In the SEC, what a difference a little time makes. Florida, remember how they just got stomped by Tennessee? And then all of a sudden you turn around, you get a big dub. I actually have to say, I think that Florida Gators win against Auburn might be the best win of the year because that was on the road. That's like you go and beat number 1 in their house, strong. But we're not going to talk SEC hoops because we got to say, like, look, you don't have to wait till next September. We don't have to wait till the months to get here before football. Because on March 30th, the Showboats are kicking things off. Spring football right around the corner. In fact, Memphis Showboats, 46 days till we got kickoff. Head coach Ken Wisenhunt, he's on the other side. Don't y'all touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Sports 56 and 95 FM.
I'm so excited.
I had a feeling you'd be excited.
That doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about the new Central Barbecue location on Central.
Well, technically, it's the same location.
Same location, but a very different Central Barbecue on Central.
I get what you're saying, but I don't want to confuse people. The new Central Barbecue location on Central is the same place as the old Central Barbecue on Central.
But it's so much more. It's big, for one thing.
It is a whole lot bigger. Well, I think it has to be.
Because everybody in Memphis is going to be flocking to the new Central Barbecue location on Central.
Where the old Central Barbecue on Central used to be.
Details. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its community and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. And once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little two-stepping Tuesday. We've talked about what we love on Tuesday, especially a day like this when it's raining, football's over, you're a little down. Don't be sad. Turn that frown upside down. Live by my words. If life hands you lemons, you don't freak out, you don't fret, you don't stress. Just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Of course, it's USA Vodka, baby. Crafted and distilled down in Austin, Texas. 6 times distilled before it's distilled in classic copper pots. Unique flavor, slightly sweet with that black pepper note. It balances everything out, whether you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Whatever you do, when you go for the best spirit, always grab what is the best, and that's Tito's. And don't be down. The Super Bowl was sad, yes. If you bet on Kansas City, it's double sad. But buck up, kiddos. We've got football, and it's not that far away. 46 days, 22 hours, and 32 minutes before the Showboats kick off their season on March 30th against the Michigan Panthers. We got their head coach. New coach, Ken Whisenhunt. He ain't new to the game. He's been around for a long, long time. You still look absolutely wonderful. Ken, welcome to the show. How's life treating you, and are you ready for 2025 Memphis Showboats action?
That I am. I heard a lot about this community and how it supports the team, and I'm excited to see that. I think that that's such a big piece of this puzzle, connection with the home fans, and hopefully that's something we're going to be able to put on a good show for them. We feel good about where we are, and we're excited about getting started.
I got to ask you right now, first off the bat, for you personally, what was it that drew you to this league? I mean, you've been at the creme de la creme. You've been to the pinnacle of the mountain in the National Football League. What is it that you were sitting back and saying, you know what, I want to get back. I want to go coach some football, and this is a league that I think I want to be a part of.
I've had a couple of players in my past that have tried the spring leagues to get back into the NFL, and I've watched their struggles with that. You know, there have been a number of different leagues. This league is structured very well to do that, and I think the affiliation with the NFL from the standpoint of if these guys play well, they're going to get a chance to go back to the NFL potentially, which is something that, you know, I feel like that's what I want to help them do. It's it's a great chance to be around guys where maybe they didn't do it right the first time, and now the second time they're going back to get it. And sometimes with these guys, you see them grow tremendously, and it can make a big impact on their football career as they go forward. And I think that's what this is all about. I mean, we want to put a good product out there for the city, because I know from having seen this city when football has been played here, what excitement that brings, and that's what we want to do. But, what really brought me back to it was being able to help these guys with all the knowledge that I've gotten from the NFL and being around what it takes to get there, is helping these guys get back, helping them build their careers.
I like that, Coach Wisenhunt. Very, very young. What are you around these days? About 62, 63?
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Young, but full of knowledge. And you want to put that in these young people's hands, some people that may not have had that, 5-star out of high school, All-American, but they're still fighting. And we just saw, a bunch of guys who are out there still fighting. I mean, you go back to Kurt Warner, his long road to get to where he made it to Hall of Fame, Super Bowl champ. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But what is one of the things, because like when I look in the National Football League, I always think that the one thing, the thing that separates certain teams is it feels like scouting. Howie Roseman did a great job with the Eagles. You look what Andy Reid and Brent Veach have done over in Kansas City. It's bringing in talent and then coaching them up. And that's basically what you have to do here in the Showboats. And I'm kind of curious, like, do you feel that right now you got the right person grabbing the right people and that you are going to be able to instill? Like, how important is the scouting, team building, and then basically having these guys ready in 46 days?
That's tough. The 46-day part of it is tough to get them up to speed. But, from what I've talked to these guys in when they've called me, they're fired up and they're ready to do it. And I think you got to adjust your program to make sure that you put enough for them to be successful, but not too much. But as far as where these guys come from, we've got a GM, Jim Manos, who is scouring all the different avenues to get players in here. And one of the things that has a draw here is that this is a good town to play football in. And then also, if you look at what we've got from a coaching staff, we've got some people that have been successful in the NFL, and then that's a good pipeline to get them back to the NFL. So, that helps us a little bit as well.
Who are some of the guys that you brought in that you're excited to work with?
Well, Brian Baker has been a defensive line coach in the league for a long time. Jim Turner is also very good, one of the best offensive line coaches in the league for a while. I've been in it for a long time, coached quarterbacks and had a lot of success with those guys. And then we've got some young guys, too, that are really fired up because they're getting a chance to learn, how you got to work with these guys. And, if we can put that mix together, we'll have an outstanding coaching staff and we'll put our guys in a position to be successful.
Do you, you look at the Eagles, just what they did, their defensive line, that offensive line, like it still comes down right now. If my guys are bigger and stronger than you in anything in life, they're going to, basically lean and put their will on you. Is offense, and you brought up my man, again, offensive line coach Jim Turner. Like, is that right now, everybody thinks of the quarterback, is that the most important position? Because you got to get that gelled because you can't run or throw if they don't know who the hell to block.
Well, I think the offensive line is a critical part of success, and you got to get the right kind of guys that understand what's going on. But now, listen, it's also when you talk about protection in pass game, you got to have a running back there that understands if a safety comes, he's got to block him. Or even sometimes when they switch off, you're ended up blocking a big guy, and you got to get these guys to buy in on the importance of doing that, and then you got to be able to give them the technique where they can be successful for it. So it's something that everybody's got to work together. But, the biggest piece of it is buy-in. And that is, I understand, because a lot of these guys have been individuals, have been successful, but really maybe not had the team atmosphere, particularly something where they understand what they have to do. And if you give them those tools, it helps everybody get better. So, when you see it gel, when you see it happen, it's an amazing thing. And that's what way we're going to try to coach these guys.
How are y'all going to, do you have any idea what the philosophy is going to be for the offense? Are y'all going to air it out? You're going to run it down your throat? What are we thinking about for the Showboats in 2025?
Well, a lot of that's going to happen in the 46 days that we're getting ready to go,
That's just wild. So literally, 46 days, y'all are going to hit the ground, and it's go time.
It is. The biggest difference is some of these guys, or most of these guys, have some experience of a professional level play. They're not just coming out of college. It's a hard transition from college to the pros. But these guys are not just college guys. They've had some experience. So if you get them in the right situation where you can get them working together, you got a chance. You at least have got a better chance of doing that in 46 days than you do starting from zero.
Quarterbacks. Everybody loves them. Who are we rooting for? How many guys you got in right now?
We got three. Three that have all had success in the UFL or in whatever league they've been in. So we're really, really excited about that.
Man, it's getting ready. It's 2025, 46 days away before the Michigan Panthers come to town. How can I find the game? I'm on the road. I'm following them. I'm having fun. I'm a Showboats fan. Where are we going to be able to see them?
We're going to be able to see them. Well,
ABC, ESPN.
Yeah, there's a multitude of avenues to see them.
Fox.
They'll be on Saturday, Sunday. You just got to look in there and see. And we'll be on TV somewhere. So, hopefully our fans can find it, and we'll put on a good show for them. And now, like the future of the league, like what are you feeling about? Because the first year, the television numbers looked really good. Again, some NBA games are jealous. Again, it was absolutely kind of mind-boggling to hear some of those numbers. Do you still feel like this thing is just now in its infancy? I do. I think it's growing. I think it's going to grow some from last year. But let's face it, people love football.
That is true.
And if you put a good product out there, they'll come.
I was watching Canadian football one day. I was like, man, what is going on? Yeah. And I realized it was Canadian.
Yeah, but I think, and there is a little bit of identification because some of these guys have been in the NFL for a minute and people may recognize them, or maybe they played in this area and were a good college player. I think, that's the whole deal is to get that interest, but we got to put a good product out there, and that's on us. If we do it, they'll come.
Now, Memphis people, don't be walking around the city looking for Showboats. If you just see a really big athletic dude, you might just be going to the gym a whole lot because they're not going to be in Memphis right now. Y'all are putting in all the work down in Texas. What is that like? Does it feel almost like, kind of almost the college atmosphere, kind of like that spring? Because, again, these are grown men, professionals, not necessarily constantly going home all across the country. I mean, y'all are going down there to put in the work, and that's why basically you got 46 days, and that's how you can do it, I guess, if you're there every day, 24/7.
Well, you know what? It's like an NFL training camp is exactly what it is, and that's what they're doing. If you look at it that way, we're in an NFL training camp for 46 days, and then we're going to play our games. And, from late July till – they start in September. That's what they're doing. They're doing the same thing. They're working together. They're in there doing football and focusing only on that. And that's what we're doing. And, it's different degrees of levels of how you do it, but that's the way we're going to model it for us. And, so we can help these guys if they get an opportunity to move up to the next level.
Coach Whisenhunt, I'm curious. Since you started on your journey in football, are you just amazed at how much basically the sport has grown from its infancy, even to when you were in the National Football League, to now like you got college, which has always been big, but now with the NIL, now we got spring football, which is booming. It's on the television. Like, did you ever see football realistically being a path for so many people like it's become? Because it's not just the people on the field, it's also the community and the people who are the support staff. I mean, it's a machine.
You know what? I can tell you this. I think later in my career I probably appreciated it more as a player and a coach, is that when you're standing on that field, whatever day it is, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever it is, and they're playing that national anthem, and you're looking around the stadium and you see 50,000 people and they're cheering for you. And people are, it's not just that day. It's their life. And they're there, going crazy. That's what it's all about. And if you can bond with those group of people and do that by playing good football, it creates memories that will last for life. And people get proud of their team when they play well, and that's what we want to give them.
It's like everything in life always changes. I'm just kind of curious. What's one of the biggest changes that you saw from last year's team that you're like, this is something that we 100% have to come in here and fix from day one?
Well, our team is going to be changed over. We're new coming in here this year, and we're making changes with the team. So we're going to have a different team than we did last year, different players. Now, we've got a few here that were here last year that are good players, but, you're going to, as you say, upgrade or change is what we're trying to do. And, we got 46 days of practice to get them ready to play and see if we can make that work better for us.
All right, so we got, a game on March 30th. What are the fans going to experience? Like, what are y'all doing this year for the fan zone, for all the stuff that's coming out? Like, when do you get the tickets, all that stuff? Like, if I'm listening right now, can I go by?
Yes, you can.
100%. I got it. Right now, you just go to the ufl.com/tickets. It really is that simple. Head on over there, grab your tickets. Heck, get ready for a little bit of spring football. Ain't no reason to be sad. Got the Arlington Renegades, Birmingham Stallions, the DC Defenders, Houston Roughnecks, the Michigan Panthers, first game we're going to play this year against them, San Antonio, and St. Louis, and, of course, our Memphis team. Oh, Ken, I really appreciate your time, and if I have to do this because I got a former NFL coach. I got an offensive coordinator. Last year, what, in San Diego?
I was
your last year?
L.A. They were the L.A.
Oh,
Chargers.
L.A. Yeah, they change.
They change.
Everything
changes.
Everything changes. What's the biggest change that you've seen around the NFL game?
It's always changing. But what you're seeing is, it's a tough league, and the teams that scout the right players and get them playing together. Andy Reid's done a great job of that in Kansas City, and he had a quarterback that was really good. And I think if you look at Philadelphia this year, it was more of a team-driven because the quarterback didn't carry him. Now, he was good. Jalen had a good season, but, they ran the ball well. So I think that they're showing you that the teams that can play together, that understand what they're trying to do, that are unselfish, are the ones that can have success. And, those are two really good coaches. Nick Sirianni coached for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago. So, he is. So, it's good to see those guys grow and understand what they're trying to get these players to do and getting them to perform. And they did that this year. So, and when you do that, it creates bonds not only with your players, but with your city, with your fans, because, they get excited to see these guys have success. And that's what we're trying to build with our guys here, making them understand that.
Building the league, the UFL. I always want to throw that thing in there for some reason. When my brain, I hear it once, it kind of gets stuck. Got to ask you another. You're you're a former offensive coordinator, former coach, former head coach. Did everything in the league. If you were looking at the league right now, and I said this to our texters, they think I'm crazy. Jaden Daniels, what you just saw this year from this young guy. I mean, on fourth down was almost perfect, clutch. More passing yards, touchdowns than anybody in the playoffs. They went from the second pick in the NFL draft last year to the NFC Championship game. I just love what I'm seeing from this young fella. He throws the football. He's cool, calm. He's collective. He can use his legs, obviously, but he's awesome. Looking at where he is right now and looking at Lamar Jackson, do you ever see a day where Jaden Daniels is put on the same level as Lamar Jackson?
Well, I would say this. First of all, I think he's a tremendous player. I was at Alabama when we played him 2 years ago, and I watched him, and I just thought, this guy's going to be a really good pro. I mean, just the way he throws the deep ball, the way he manages the game, and the way he does that. But it's 1 year. He's had 1 year where he's had that success, and now you got to understand that coming in the second year, people are going to gun to try to stop him. So, could he be the next Patrick Mahomes? I'm not saying he's the same type of player. Absolutely he could. But he's an exciting player, and I think that you can see where that position can really transition a franchise. So kudos to him and what they've done. And, we'd love to have something like that here where we could get a guy that plays like that or a team like our plays like that and, maybe get one of our guys or more than one of our guys back in the NFL.
That is the goal. Get them back in the NFL, also to win, to make the playoffs, to tear things up. They're going to be on television. And I'm talking about the showboats. The UFL starts in 46 days. It's right around the corner. There's no reason to have a sale like football's done. No, it's not. 46 days. Showboats will be right back at it. Again, you can watch it on ESPN, ABC, Fox. The games will be airing everywhere. You can also check out your little MGM apps and FanDuel, because I know they do that, because I did a little of that last year. If you want your tickets, just go to the UFL.com/tickets. It really is. Now the hard work is about to hit you, Coach.
That's right.
You're done with this interview, but you're about to head back down there and get a bunch of guys ready. 46 days till they kick things off. I can tell you're excited. I appreciate your time. Any parting words for these people out there?
We appreciate their support. I think there's a culture of support for their sports teams in this city. I remember I was a player when the old USFL came out and the Herschel Walkers came here, and
Steve Young,
and all I can remember is what a crazy place. I wasn't there. I was in the NFL, but I remember what a crazy place this was. And the team of all the teams in those leagues that stood out was the Memphis team,
and that had Reggie White on it, I believe.
No question, it had Reggie White, who was probably one of the best players
ever.
He kicked my ass a few times.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's a big man.
Yeah, he did that power move, and I landed right on my butt when he did that trying to block him. But, I think that there is a culture of this city of being fanatical in about their teams. We know that we've got a high standard to live up to, and we want to do that, but we also want to get this team excited about us, and we know that that's what we got to do.
I love, I got to say, Ken Wisenhunt carries himself well, class man. This is going to be a class organization. Showboats gear, by the way, looks really good. Like, I need some Showboats gear. I'm just letting you know. Andy, you hear me what I'm saying?
He's thumping.
I was thumping, yeah, because I like looking good, and those look really good. I love them. Make sure you go check out, go to the UFL.com. You can learn about all the teams. You can check out their tickets, the schedules. Everything's coming out 46 days. We got to take a quick time out, pay a few bills. But we got to come back with our bets. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
What happens to former real estate agents when they want to sell their homes? This is Sheldon Rosenberg, Ashley Sheldon, with Mark's Mansfield Realtors. I am so proud and feel so honored that former real estate agents contact me when they want to sell their homes. They know that I've been in the business for quite a while, have a great deal of experience, and know that I am good at marketing, not merely putting a sign in the yard and looking at sales. Over the years, I have developed a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and you win. Talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure that I am one of them. So if you or somebody never thinking about selling a home, remember what other real estate agents have been in the business do. Then call me, Sheldon Rosenberg, at 483-0546, or email me at memphisrelocate.com. I will wait to hear from you to take advantage of this good market. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Thank you.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert creative lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, or personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a home that fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktie.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. I got to say, man, Ken's a Coach Wisenhunt. What a nice guy. Damn, man.
I wanted to ask him like Super Bowl questions.
I was going to say,
he coached Anquan Bolden. He coached Larry Fitzgerald.
Man, trust me, this is what I was just telling him during the break. I just went over there and
Ben Roethlisberger.
Very like, yo, man, hey, Coach.
You are Ken Wisenhunt.
I was like, Coach, hey, we should do like a reoccurring thing, like where we just bring you on. Like he has he has so many stories, not just about football. When he was a young buck, he's from Augusta.
Georgia?
The 18th green where they have the master scoreboard?
That's his house?
No, he did that one year.
Oh.
Like when he was a young buck. Man, played in the NFL, what? He played, 9 seasons?
He's cool, too.
Coach forever. Cool. Do you know his coaching career started in Nashville?
No, I didn't.
With Vanderbilt?
Nope. I just remember him from the Steelers and also getting the Cardinals to the Super Bowl in which they lost to the Steelers.
Yeah, that was painful. That was a wild one. Man, Coach Wisenhunt though.
Been around.
Showboats, bro. I'm fired up. But yeah, we're gonna do a little showboat action this year. Eli's on the call, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Man, you fired, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Eli, I hope Eli ain't listening.
No, he's walking Coach out, so no.
Oh, is he? Okay, good, actually. But yeah, Coach Wisenhunt, being able to pick his brain, I think I will have fun doing that. We're going to do a little Showboats action going forward again. Super nice guy. You can catch the games on ESPN, ABC, Fox, UFL.com, baby. /tickets. Bing, bang, boom. Get them 46 days away till they kick that bad boy off. Man, now you got me going on that whole where I'm thinking about all the people that Ken Wisenhunt,
Yes, coached.
as coach.
Yes.
And the stories this man has to have.
Hines Ward.
The guys he played against, too, not just coached. Man.
That preseason, I just know coach is coach. I ain't that old, John.
I don't know. This is going to be awesome. And again, he's so right, man. The Showboats back in the day, I have still a Showboats jersey from way, way back when. Also had for some reason, my grandmother had the Showboats, their very first year, the magazine that came out. People don't ever see magazines no more.
In the 80s or when they just came back?
The very first year of it. And you had all the pictures on it. It was on the refrigerator for years and years and years. Oh, that's because my little ugly self and my brother were sitting on the dude. That's why. Never mind. Now I know why.
We used to have a Showboats magnet on the fridge, but
Showboats. Now, we've been talking a little this, a little that, and a whole lot of that, and we got to get back to it. We got to bet tonight. Again, I told y'all tonight, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are what?
I don't know, but I'm waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thoughts from John Harden.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Deep Thoughts from John
Deep Thoughts. Let me write that down. Deep Thoughts.
Deep Thoughts by John Harden. No, but the SEC owns Tuesdays and Wednesdays in college basketball. 6 o'clock, it gets really crazy. I mean, think about this. You got Auburn, who just came off a bad loss at home against Florida, going on the road to Vanderbilt, their 9.5-point favorite. You got Florida, who just came off the high of all highs and the best win, I think, of the year. The most impressive win to me, going on the road and beating Auburn. Florida, it's amazing how bad you looked when you played in Knoxville and how awesome they looked down on the plains. Tennessee lost at home to Kentucky. Tennessee goes to Rupp, and they're going to try now knock off Kentucky and return the favor. SEC hoops is ridiculous. You got Alabama at 8 o'clock tonight. They're on the road playing Texas. Texas 4-7 in the SEC and somehow in the tournament. Isn't that crazy? They very mid to me. They're only a 4.5-point favorite. That one's crazy. And then the team that needs a win more than anybody, wouldn't you say it's got to be Georgia? It's going to be tough because Buzz and Wade have been killing it. Texas A&M 8.5-point favorite over Georgia. So it is SEC Hoops Night. It is Tuesday, and we got to figure out, man, who's going to win. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about this Tennessee-Kentucky game real quick because I feel like you saw what Tennessee can be when they are on. Oklahoma was up 5-2. They blinked, and they were down by 20. Tennessee was in fuego. They were hotter than Cooter Brown. And by the way, you know how hot Cooter Brown is?
Very.
Man, you just don't even know. That man's hot. But I feel like UT, they don't have to shoot like that to go on the road to beat Kentucky, but they can shoot just as well because Kentucky doesn't play defense. I love Mark Pope, nice guy, doing a good job. Somehow lost to Cal and Arkansas at the crib. Went down to Ole Miss. I was there at that game last Tuesday, and let me just tell you something. Malik Dia dominated them. Ole Miss beat the brakes off Kentucky. They couldn't stop. Ole Miss scored, 98 points?
Almost, honey.
Man, I'm just saying. I don't think really Kentucky has a great chance tonight.
Yep, 98-84.
I think this is going to be kind of one of those games where it just gets ugly with a quickness. I'm laying it. I mean, I think they're not going to get the season sweep from Kentucky. They lost 78-73 back on January 28th. They're better. And in that game, man, dude, in that game, Kentucky shot out of their mind. They made 59 between. Oh my God, that's not happening. I think this might be one of the easier plays on the evening. I think Tennessee goes over there. I mean, Kentucky, Rupp Arena. Is it loud? Is it proud? Is it crazy? Yes. Does Kentucky have dudes that can score? Yes. Do they have big bodies? Yes. But they don't play defense. And Tennessee's the best defense, second best in the country. I think it's going to get ugly with a quickness. And that first matchup, man, they just kept daring the Vols to shoot the three, and boy, they kept shooting it. They shot 45 of them. Do you know they only made 11? That's 24%. Do you really think Tennessee, second game, Rick Barnes and them boys are going to be like, yeah, just go up there and jack up 45 more three-pointers again, or do you think they're going to be a little bit more locked in?
Did Ziegler play that first game?
He did.
He did. Okay.
The game he missed was against the Gator boys when they
Okay,
destroyed
that's
him.
what. Okay, because he looked pretty good last night.
I'm just, man, like,
Or
you know,
Saturday.
Kentucky, they struggled at Ole Miss. The Gamecocks are terrible. I'm not even counting that thing. And they still couldn't shoot against the Gamecocks. You look at their numbers right now from the three-point range in the last 3 games, Kentucky's been pretty bad. And what about Butler? I just feel like the Vols are going to just absolutely beat the brakes off Kentucky. And then they get a second shot against Vanderbilt on Saturday. Like, this feels like Tennessee revenge week for me. Like, Big Orange Nation is coming out hard. This is the 8-ball MJG 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Armed robbery.
But they better be good on the road because Kentucky and Texas A&M ain't gonna be easy.
No, I will
Vanderbilt,
say-
they should slaughter Vandy at home.
I think it's going to be a massacre of the innocents. I feel pretty bad. I'm telling you, I think that thing gets ugly.
Little Kentucky kissing cousins party.
I feel like Vanderbilt's going to have a terrible week. They got Auburn coming off a loss to Florida. And then they got Tennessee on revenge on Saturday. It's not going to be a great week for Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt fans, by the way, they still high on Diego Pavia.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. I was like,
I'm like, I bet they
yeah.
like, dude, he's is Diego a bigger pimp in Nashville than
Absolutely.
Kid Rock?
Absolutely. The football team is carrying over to the basketball team. They're still living off of that Alabama win. So
Because you know Kid Rock got booed off the walked off the stage in Nashville, I think at his own bar or something. I don't know. I just saw
did
it.
he?
You know how like I look at that TMZ thing, sports. I was like, for some reason, one of the sports stories was Kid Rock said, "Bleep the crowd" and left. But I think the Commodores, like Diego Pavia, is bad to the bone. But their best basketball player, Jason Edwards, he's nice.
All right, you only got
he is
about a
nice.
minute for your bets, buddy.
Oh, my bet is it's not my bets.
Oh, you just got one lock.
It's my bet in college basketball in the SEC. Take Tennessee, lay the 4.5. And then in the NBA, don't call me a homer. I just like the number. Dude, Grizzlies. Oh, wait, Tennessee, by the way. I'm sorry. You can get it right now, minus 2.5. Jump on Tennessee, minus 2.5. Thank you, Texter. And then take the Grizzlies, minus the 4.5. Man, Phoenix is in disarray. Grizzlies are just feeling life. Like that Oklahoma City whipping is still what they tasted. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that Jaren, Desmond, and them are going to come out there and dominate. I think they absolutely beat the brakes off the Suns. That's why they're 4.5-point favorite. And in Phoenix, nobody likes anybody. It's just terrible. It's kind of like how nobody likes Nico in Dallas.
Don't forget what Terry Davis told you. Death, Texas, and Jaren Jackson Jr. over 20 points. Always.
Trip over, man. That's a great bet right there.
Yep.
I love that. We're sticking in the state of Tennessee. We're going with the Grizzlies. We're going with the Vols, and we're also going to go with Trip. Those are your 3 plays for the day. I hope Are we running this junk to the end, or am I bouncing?
Oh, you do anything? You don't hear your jams?
Oh, I just was making
the
sure.
The band has been fired up.
I like it. I was just making sure. Tomorrow, we are going to have a lot of fun. We got to break down what happened, and we got more SEC hoops. We got to talk a little NBA action. And, man, it's time to get deep with the Tigers. But for today's plays, make sure Vols -2.5, Grizzlies -4.5, and trip over how many?
20.
Oh, that was a good
all-star trip. Put some respect on
that
that
was a little
name.
bit of fun. That was a little bit of fun. Everybody right now, don't forget, though, go to UFL.com/tickets to get your tickets. 46 days away. That's my time. Peace.
I'm so excited.